My chat has gone really small and I can hardly read it, so I'm trying to figure out how to fix it. And it is doable because I've done it before, but for some reason, probably because I'm trying to do it in a rush, I cannot figure out how to get the text bigger. I'm clearly getting old. Clearly need my eyes done. I do not understand where. Hello, Girl Who Bakes. Hello, Lilith. Hello, Macaroon Manta. Hello, Tron. How are we all today? Happy Friday, everybody. Hello, Alien. Oh, and you've seen my emote. I'm so pleased. It took a while, but we got there. Oh, I've found. Oh, right. Okay. I figured out how to get it bigger, so that's good. Stream frozen on mobile. Oh dear. Is anyone else having any issues? Is it from my side? Is the mic okay? The audio okay? Hello, Dinodoll. Happy Friday. Looks like a healthy meal. Hello, James. A healthy meal. I would say this is a fairly healthy meal. Nice and balanced. If anyone else is having... Okay, you're good. Right, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. You worried me slightly. It's working fine, Billy's things. Perfect. We had a few technical issues to begin with. It was... Yeah, not quite sure what happened, but it always seems to happen when I'm running late. So I guess it's my own fault. But yeah, so pretty much ready now, I think. An ad. Oh, that's exciting to see the ads are working as well. Made chilli and cornbread. Oh, nice. You're very welcome. How was it? Girl Who Bakes. Did you make a veggie chilli? Did you make a minced chilli? A meat chilli? I'm not gonna lie, we thoroughly enjoyed the bean chilli that I made. It was a good chilli. Do you remember? Of course I do, Macaroon Manta. Was that my very first stream that you were in? Or was second? I think it was the first one, wasn't it? Seems like a long time ago, but I do remember you. Just thinking I'm in the picture, okay. I think it was the first, yeah. So that was almost a month ago. So almost 4 weeks I've been doing it now. So, oh, that's okay. It's nice to see you again though. Yeah, it's been, 4 weeks and still enjoying it. So that's always a good sign. It was so good. I didn't look up. I think that's the best way to do it, especially with things like chili or like stews and stuff. I think you're best to just kind of go with it and add bits and see what things taste like, see if it's missing anything, top up on little bits. Ground beef, sweet peppers, black beans and kidney beans. That sounds amazing. And you made cornbread. Did you make a sweet cornbread or did you make a savoury one? Because that was the discussion, and since then I tried it with some weird kind of maple syrup butter stuff, and it was nice, but I have to say I still prefer it just with regular butter. I would say that's my favourite way to have it. Right, so I'm just slowly going to get started. It's going to be a fairly chill one today because this isn't a particularly difficult recipe. It's probably not going to take me a lot of time. But yeah, it's a Friday, so I'm just gonna take it, see how it goes. Sweeter cornbread, nice. I think you could have used more sugar. Okay. Tried it with buttermilk instead of just milk. Yeah, a lot of the recipes that I found said to use buttermilk, but I didn't have any. and I couldn't find any. So I think it was a half and half I used, and that seemed to work quite well. So I think if I was to do it again, which I think I will because it was really nice, I would just do the half and half again because it's much easier for me to get to make like a fake half and half like I did rather than try and get buttermilk. But I can see how it would be good with the buttermilk because it's a bit thicker, and I think it has got a bit of a kind of almost like a tang to it. Hello Mary Fisher, how are you today? Are we all excited for the weekend? Does anyone have any exciting plans that I can live vicariously through you? Because we're pretty much back in lockdown here, so I think it'll be another few quiet weeks. Right, so I have heard this before. I did it once with regular milk and some lemon juice, but I don't think I did it right because it didn't thicken, it didn't taste right. It was almost as if I just spoiled the milk. So I don't know whether I need to use like a thicker milk, because I used like it would have been a semi-skimmed milk, so I'm thinking that was maybe too like not fatty enough. So Girl Who Bakes, if you've done that before and you have a recipe that you would recommend, or even just like a method that you would recommend, please do let me know because I would be intrigued to try it. And I'm not vegan myself, so I do drink regular milk. Not a lot of it, but I do sometimes, so I can use that, so that would be very helpful. Good, thanks. Good, I am glad to hear it. I've definitely not drank enough today, so I'm gonna top up. Johnny Scottish, and we've got some more emotes, which I'm loving. How are you today? And I think I've just realised, I'm hoping that this won't freak anybody out, but I think I've just realised that I've actually put one of my contact lenses in backwards because everything's a wee bit blurry in that eye. I'm sure I'll be fine. I can still read that. I can see what I'm doing, so we'll be okay. That gin, not quite. No, it's not quite gin time. But I do have a bottle of wine that I'm purely opening to put in the bolognese, so I might have a wee glass of that while I'm making my dinner. Yeah, I was running quite late though today, so, so it was either fix the lens or be here not even on time, be even later, and I'm not entirely sure that's what it is. So, and I find if I play about my contact lens, it can take me ages, so it'll be fine. My health is important. That is true. If it gets worse or if it starts to bug me, I'll nip out for a second and go and change. But at the moment it's okay. It's possibly just because my eyes have had a wee break from them, so they're just not quite as used to it. We'll see how we go. If it gets worse, I can go and change it. Right, so we are making lentil bolognese tonight, purely because I really fancied one. It's one that I make fairly regularly now. I would say maybe every couple of weeks. Sorry, I'm so thirsty today. Oh, this would not be healthy if this was gin. I'd be on the floor already. Yes, I make it probably once every 2 weeks-ish. And I actually prefer it to the... Thanks, Johnny. I prefer it to mince bolognese. Oh dear God, I'm glad this is before I've got my wine. And I definitely would be on the floor if it was gin. Right, thank you, Johnny. That should sort me out for a bit. Yeah, because I'm trying to eat more sort of vegetarian stuff, this is one of the first recipes I think that I kind of adapted to have without meat, and I think it is tastier. I prefer the texture of the lentils to the meat, and you can get quite a lot of good flavour in the sauce, so I don't actually think you're really missing anything. And I do apologise if my lighting goes a bit strange, but every 2 minutes the sun comes out and then goes back in again, so it gets really bright and really dark. Right, Right, what am I going to start with? I think I'll start with the sauce so that we can leave that, because obviously with a good bolognese you want it to kind of cook for as long as possible. What pot do I want to use? Possibly a wee one. I'll need the big one for my spaghetti. Yeah, so you want a kind of smallish one, and the longer you can, I just had a complete mind blank. The longer you leave it to cook, the better. So if you can, like sometimes I would just stick it on and leave it literally for hours just to kind of simmer away, and that's how you get a load of flavour in. But this time I'm just going to kind of throw it together, leave it to sit for as long as I've got, and I'm sure it'll be nice. Can I post a link? This says info for. Ooh, right. Hold on. I think I've. Could you post it in the Discord, Girl Who Bakes? Because I've had one person post a link in the chat and it broke my whole stream. And it was a legit link. It was fine, but the stream stopped working completely, so I had to take the posts off it. So if you could put it in the Discord, that would be amazing, and I'll go and have a wee look over there. Buff Bagel, how are you today? Happy Friday, nice to see you. I'm loving the use of my emote, it's so exciting. I could shoot, right, hold on, I'll show you the other two. So I've got another two that are still being approved. So, oh, hang on. There's the other two. So they're coming. Oh. There you go. If you like to stress, we know how to end stream. Yes. So if I like to stress, either that's what's happened, or I've had too much wine. Thank you very much, Buff. I'm very pleased with them. It took a long time, but I'm very pleased with them. Yeah, so I managed, thanks to all of you guys, I managed to get another couple unlocked. So I already got 3 done to begin with. And so I got the 3 done to begin with, and I'd set them up for the different tiers, and then because I got the ones unlocked for tier 1, I then moved them, so I think I've confused Twitch, but they'll be there soon. I done them in the end, Hamilton's. I actually managed, it was just someone I got on Fiverr eventually. I'll find the name and I'll send you it because I cannot remember. It was just one that I really, really liked the look of, because I had a very specific idea in my head of what I wanted. So I can send you the link, but I was quite pleased with it, so. Posted, thank you. I'll go and have a wee look in a wee second. I'll chop up my bits and pieces and then I'll have a wee nosy. Because I think that would be interesting, because it's definitely something that, as I said, I had tried making my own buttermilk before and it was just a disaster. It was as if I just had rotten milk, so I've obviously done something wrong. And if you've done it as well before, Girl Who Bakes, then at least I know that if I do it wrong, it's because I've done it wrong and it's not just like the wrong method. Just got done with a platter of sushi. Oh, Buff, I love sushi. What kind of sushi did you have? Just make me even more jealous. It's been ages since I've had sushi. I used to really enjoy going to like Yo Sushi and sitting and just picking the bits off the bar. Although it's quite tricky being gluten free, but I just love sushi. This you know what buttermilk is. That's a good point actually. But it like, at least if you buy it from the supermarket, it looks like kind of thick cream almost, and this just looked awful, and I think it just smelled like lemon juice. And I was like, either I give up now or I put this into whatever it was. I can't even remember what I was making it for, probably that soda bread. So either I just give up now or I put it in the soda bread and ruin more ingredients. So I gave up. Had all kinds, was so good. Oh, yum. It's just, there's something nice about a nice big plate of sushi, some soy sauce, and the ginger. I think the ginger's my favourite part. That kind of, is it pickled? It's not really pickled, is it? It's kind of like marinated ginger. I'm going to try and make that myself. Hello, Grievous Mink. Happy Friday. Nice to see you. How are you? Buff. Oh my god. Okay, that sounds incredible. Miso soup as well. Oh, right. See, now I've completely gone off the idea of lentil bolognese and I just want sushi. Thank you for that. I don't even know how I would go about getting sushi at this stage. It's pickled, yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I suppose it doesn't feel like pickled because I wouldn't say it tastes vinegary, does it? But yeah, it's good. Oh, hello there, Hodgerific. Doesn't Murphy come in later? I don't actually know where they are. I think they might be outside. I'm sure they'll be in soon for their dinner, so there's a good possibility that a Murphy or an Isla will come with the lentils. Hopefully not. Hopefully they won't be in the pot. It's funny because they are so uninterested in like human food. And unless it's cat food, they don't want it. Or tuna. But I suppose that kind of is cat food as well, isn't it? What did you... Oh, hold on. Right, this is a problem with having the chat so big that I can read it, but it jumps up too quickly. 2 onigiri on the side as well. What's an onigiri again? I always get the different Japanese dishes mixed up. What's onigiri? I'm sure it's still a rice ball. Yum. What's the is it mochi? Is that the dessert rice balls? Because that's good. I quite fancy trying to make that myself at some point. I don't have a clue where you would start, but they are really tasty. Hydrate. Thanks, Johnny. I feel like this is going to be a theme today. But I like how you're looking after me. Right, it's supposed to be frozen mochi. Oh, frozen mochi. I'm not sure I've had it frozen. So does that mean it's like hard when you bite into it? Because I've only had it when it's been like kind of soft and gooey. Onigiri is handheld delicious. See, that's the best if you've got something you can just hold in your hand. You don't need any cutlery for. I'm one of these people, I'm quite lazy when it comes to eating, and ideally I would just have, if I can eat everything in a bowl with a fork and just like scoop it in. I'd rather not sit and have to cut stuff up. I'm quite lazy when it comes to that, so my ideal food is just stuff in a bowl that I can scoop into my face. It's not as hard as you... Have you made it before, Buff? Again, if you have a recipe, please do share in the Discord. Because I would like to try and make it, because it's good because it normally is gluten-free because it's rice. And desserts can be difficult to get gluten-free, obviously, because a lot of them are made with flour. So it's one that I do quite enjoy if I ever get the chance to have it. Often needs to be exactly shovelable. Try saying that when you've had a few wines. Shovelable. But yeah, I fully agree. Who's got time to sit and cut stuff up? Once the food's ready, I just want it to get into my face as quickly as possible. Makes me sound really greedy. I'm not too bad, to be honest. Can you? It's been a long time since I've been to Asda. That's worth it. That is more than worth it. Thank you for that tip. I know what I'm doing this weekend. I'll be off to Asda to get some mochi. I'm assuming that's how you say it. Mochi. See, now all I want to do is go to Yo Sushi and stuff my face with sushi and rice balls. Tesco have them as well. How did I not know this? That's, yeah, I need to get shopping in anyway. So I'm gonna write that on my list because I do enjoy that. I'm not a huge dessert fan. There's not a lot of desserts where I'm like, oh, I really crave that. Although I have really been craving Ben and Jerry's fish food, the ice cream. Oh, I don't know why, but it used to be my favourite ice cream and I've not had it for years. But I have been craving it so bad recently. Then it's time to go. Yes, exactly, it is time to go back. Just bought some ice cream, watching from Oh. This is just like torture today. This is all I want now. Oh, lactose intolerant. Yeah, my sister's lactose intolerant. It's not pleasant. Do you take the lactase tablets then, Buff, or do you just try and avoid lactose as much as possible? That was the wrong button. Fish food is your favourite too? Yay! I think you're the only other person that I've found that would say that that's their favourite. Everybody else is like, oh, the cookie dough, or the one with like the stuff in the middle. What is it, like what's that called? The core? Is that the core one or something like that? But yeah, definitely. It's by far the nicest. Plus I'm assuming it's gluten-free. I've not had it since I've been gluten-free, but I can't see why it wouldn't be. There's nothing in it that wouldn't be, so I'll need to double check that. I would love some sushi after this night shift. Not many places. No, I can't imagine many people want sushi at 8:30 in the morning, apart from, well, you now apparently. Maybe you can get some for lunch. Can you hold off until lunch? Which in the most part is lactose free. So what's actually in? Like, is it just rice with like fruit puree or something? I've never actually properly thought how that, like, where mochi comes from or how it comes together. Given I really do. Yeah, that's the problem though. If I have a glass of wine with my dinner, I then can't drive to the shop to go and get some. So I have to weigh up. Do I want the wine or do I want the ice cream? I'm not sure yet. Oh, you used to take them. Oh dear, that doesn't sound ideal. I know of a few people that take them and they normally are okay with them. But yeah, I think it's probably, if it's not agreeing with you, like if the lactose isn't agreeing with you, you're probably best to avoid it if possible. And I guess there are quite a lot of like lactose-free versions of things, so it's not actually a dairy thing. One thing that I saw, because obviously, although I suppose cheddar's not overly high in lactose, but you can get a load of like lactose-free cheese and lactose-free milk and lactose-free cream and stuff. And I had all of that when I was on the low FODMAP diet, and I thought it all tasted pretty much the same. I couldn't really taste much of a difference. Yeah, that's a good shout. The marshmallow swirl, that's exactly what I'm craving. And then the little bits, the wee chocolate fish. Oh, do you know, I might just stop this now and go to the shop and get some ice cream. Well, I'll be back in 10 minutes. Frozen mochi can be on this hand. Could you imagine? I'll need to get loads more remotes so that I can just add like lots of different things to the hands. Oh, it's mainly rice. I wonder, because I have rice, I wonder if I can make it later. I'm gonna Google a recipe when I come off and see if I have everything that I can make it. I don't even know what fruit I have. Could you make kiwi mochi? I have kiwis. That could be interesting. This happens. Does that tell you something, Buff, maybe? Is this maybe your fault? That I have all these unreasonable cravings? You have magical powers. He must do. That's it. He speaks to my cravings on another level, apparently. You can put whatever you want in it. Okay. That might be an idea. Kiwi mochi sounds interesting. I think I might need to give that a go. Because I have a call. Oh, that's disappointing. So not just like long grain white rice, no. Mochi rice, right. I'm going to look into that. If you use regular rice, it will not work. But I'm glad you told me that, because I would have been really disappointed if I'd gone through with it. That doesn't sound nice. Although, I mean, I like rice pudding, so that might be okay. But yeah, I think I'll hold off either until I get the proper rice, but then to be fair, I would probably just I'll probably just buy some from the supermarket, because that sounds much easier. It's glutinous rice. So is that more like sushi rice then? I'm so hungry now. I don't think I can wait for my dinner. Short grain. See if you can get mochi sheet. Is that a thing? A mochi sheet? Am I gonna I'll probably have to go somewhere special. I don't know if I would get that in Asda. Right, on a stream at some point I will make mochi. I'll hunt down all the ingredients and I will make it, because I feel like that would be a little adventure. Ah, okay. So pre-made, so you just add like whatever kind of flavouring you want and then roll them up. That does sound much easier. Mochi sheets are a thing I saw on Iron Chef Japan. Nice. I don't think I've ever seen that. Get it from a special shop here. Yeah, it sounds like it would be kind of specialised food, but trying to think if we have any. Would I get it in an Asian shop? We've got a few big sort of Asian supermarkets. I'll have a look. I will have a nosy and see what I can find. And in the meantime, I'll go to the supermarket and buy the ready-made ones, just to try and get rid of that craving. Does it sound better or worse? Because I've done something to it, and I'm hoping that it sounds better. And if not, if it sounds worse, let me know and I'll take that off. Because it had been annoying me that oh dear. Right, hang on. Yeah, that's not what I was going for. Where was it? What did I do? Let me think. Right, it's not as clear. It's not better. Okay, that's good to know. And now. Right, okay, hold on. I've just changed it. Is this better? Hopefully it is, because I've just taken off. So I'd put on a compressor because it was annoying me that when the videos, if I watched them back after, it sounded, I felt it sounded like somebody was smothering me with a pillow. Yes, oh that's good. Wrong channel. Definitely the wrong channel for that. Unless I like poison someone with the food and they come in and try and smother me with a pillow, but hopefully that won't happen. Yes, good. So hopefully, right. So I'll leave it like that then. But it's good to know. I did wonder, because it had bugged me, so I played about with a few different bits and changed a couple of things. and then I forgot all about it and thought I should probably test them out. So you guys are my test, so I appreciate it. Yeah, I can hear you better. Good. That's good. Thank you for the help with that. It's always appreciated. I can move you over here. Not that much interesting is happening. But I've just chopped up my onions, popped them in my pan. What else do I need? My little garlic press. So has anyone in chat made lentil bolognese before? Or are we all meat bolognese fans? Because it's something I kept seeing, but I was like, oh, why would you do that? Unless you're vegetarian. But as I said at the beginning, I actually think I prefer the texture of this one. Always me. Sorry, you don't have to apologise for that, that's okay. You made a tuna one? I can't imagine how that would taste. Although I suppose, is that like a... I mean, I've made like a tomato tuna pasta sauce before, and it's nice. But it sounds a wee bit intense to have a bolognese just with tuna. But each to their own, I suppose. We're test subjects, yes. Yes, you are. I'm sorry to admit that to you, but yes, very much so. This is fine. I like those wee emotes, they're fun. Had it but never made it. You've never made lentil bolognese, or have you never made bolognese in general? Bolognese is really not a tuna thing. No, I can't. Even when, like, I love tuna, but even just kind of thinking of it in a bolognese, it just sounds a bit strange. Although the wee tomato sauce that I did was really nice, and it was just like this kind of tomato sauce, and I added some sliced black olives, some capers, and then just a tin of tuna right at the end, and kind of mixed it through. That was quite nice. So it's maybe not too far off that, but yeah, it's probably quite a specific taste. Tuna noodle casserole. Is that more like a one with cheese on top? Because if it is, I like that. I feel like black olives are the defo go-to for seafood. See, I don't like olives. I really don't. Well, no, in fact, no, that's not fair to olives. It's not fair to the olives. I'm not a fan of olives. Like, see, if you go to a restaurant or if you're on holiday and they'll give you like a little dish of olives, I really want to be one of these people who can be like, oh, thanks very much, and just sit and eat olives with a glass of wine. I can't do it because I don't like the taste of them. But I find that in certain things, they're quite nice, but they have to be chopped up quite finely so that you're only getting a taste of them. I had them recently on a pizza, like a kind of veggie pizza, and that was really nice. But the green ones, rotten. Black olives, feta, salad, and tuna. I think I could get on board with that. So I really like feta, salad, and tuna. And as long as there weren't too many, I think I could get on board with that. Never made a lentil bolognese. If I make lentils, it's usually just me mixing them with my rice. Ah. Yeah, no, that's quite good as well, though. I make lentils all the time. I like doing them, I do like a lentil salad. So I'll just cook up some lentils and then add, one thing that's really nice with lentils is kale and halloumi. So you just kind of fry it all off, cook the lentils, put the lentils in, add them all together with some seasoning. It's really, really tasty. Or with feta, that's good as well. Girly Bakes, you've never cooked lentils? You must. It's so easy and it's so good. And that's it. I always think like you can do like a big batch of them, and then that's you good for a couple of days, and you can do loads of different things with it. I can easily sit and eat an entire jar. See, no, pickled onions. I could do that with that. Not olives though, but a jar of pickled onions, yes please. Especially the wee ones. I like the wee tiny ones. But you also like chowing down on a bag of spinach. That's unusual. that's very unusual. So you're probably the one person who buys those little protein pots that you get in the supermarket where it's got the spinach with like a boiled egg on top and tastes of absolutely nothing. Are you the one person who buys them? Grapes or apples on a tuna salad sandwich? Really? I can't imagine what either of those taste like. And they both, I mean, no. No, I'm sorry, Hodgerific. I don't think I can get on board with that. Oh, ploughman's, yum. Yeah, a ploughman's would be good. I'd rather buy a bag of sugar snap peas and spinach. That's bizarre. And just raw, like with nothing on them, just as they come out of the bag. And is this for like bulking up reasons, or is that just the kind of thing that you like to eat? It wouldn't be my first choice, but then I have been known to just buy like a small block of cheese, or like the little snack blocks of cheese, and that'll be like a snack for me. I absolutely love that. See, like a good bit of cheddar, can't beat it. Sugar snap peas are your snack option. Well, that's unusual. I don't think I've heard of anyone else doing that. But at least it's healthy, I suppose. Not for dietary reasons, I just love them. I mean, that's it. It could be worse. It could be like me chomping on chunks of cheddar. For some reason, my corkscrew is broken. It's not working very well, but we're getting there. Sounds super weird, but usually a 1 bite rule. So what's the 1 bite rule? Is that just trying the stuff, or just 1 bite and then put it back? Like, no, I don't want this now, thank you. Love munching on sugar snap peas and ranch. So I feel like that, yeah, I would need something to dip them in. I couldn't just eat them as they are. I think they would need to. I don't think I've ever had ranch though, because it's not really a thing. It's not nearly as big a thing over here as it is in America. So I'm not sure I've ever actually had it. Is it just like a creamy salad dressing? Is there a specific taste to it? Lost me the ranch, yeah. A dip of some kind. I'm not sure. Blended a ton of peas this year. Oh, nice. And did they work, Girl Who Bakes, or are you still waiting for them? Because I've planted a load of stuff, and I think Corona got it all too, because it was a waste of time. Although I've got one courgette that's still really trying. He will not give up. And every day I'll go out, I'm like, keep going, we can do this. Because I want to have one thing that I can eat from the garden. Maybe hummus. Ooh, hummus might be quite nice with it. I feel like I could eat that. I would need something though. I couldn't just get like a bag of peas and eat them. Buff is secretly Popeye. That's what it reminded me of. Just cans of spinach. Hummus would be good. Ranch frizzled in it. A wee bit. No, Grievous Mink, I have never had ranch. Because it's just not a big thing here. And if I was to make like a salad, because it is a salad dressing, isn't it? So if it's a salad dressing, I make my own. And I could try making ranch. But I don't tend to buy it, so I think I just make ones that I like. Tangy creamy dressing. I mean, it sounds alright. It sounds kind of like a thing that I would like. I got something for myself. Oh dear. That was your nearly in bother. How terrific. All over some sugar snap peas. Is that giving you nightmares now? Is that why you can't eat them anymore? Way too many peas. Oh, nice. Oh, that's so cool. There's nothing better than growing stuff in your own garden and then being able to eat it. So sad that it's not worked out for me this way this year. Like this is one of the biggest things I actually managed to grow this year. two very pathetic looking onions. But it's better than nothing. I tried. One bite rule. I'll give it, yeah, I think that's fair. You should always try something before you say you don't like it. And then you're allowed to say if you don't like it, because you do actually know if you don't like it. It's no salad cream. I'm not the biggest fan of salad cream. I like it with, like, to do like egg mayo, use a bit of salad cream for a bit of tang, but apart from that, I don't really use it. And I really didn't want to say that word in front of you again. But it's out there now. You grew something? I did. And I grew some stuff last year. And I was much more productive last year. I even managed to grow a bit of a kind of a cornfield in my garden. So that was interesting. Although I was so proud of myself. So I grew this, and like, I don't know if you can see it, hold on. I'll switch you around for a second. So see this window? I couldn't actually see out of the window because the corn was up right outside the window and it was so high up. And I thought, God, I've done so well. I was so pleased with myself. I read up everything to see, right, when am I supposed to harvest the corn? When can I go and get it? Did all of that. I thought, right, it's perfect now. I'll go and grab the corn. Got the corn out, and it was just these very sad looking like stalk things with maybe 10 to 20 kernels on each of them. It's like, this is so disappointing. So I don't know if it's me or if it's Scotland. I'm gonna say it's Scotland. So I think what I need to do is the next time is put my stuff in the greenhouse for longer, because it's so cold here that I think that just kind of ruins it all. Salad cream, yes. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's a bit like mayonnaise, not quite as thick. And it's kind of tangy. I mean, it's quite nice. It's a specific kind of flavour, so I think quite a lot of people don't really like it, but it's quite nice. Ooh, strawberry poppy seed dressing. That sounds interesting. Like with Pepto-Bismol, that would put you off. Although I suppose it's a dressing, and what's Pepto-Bismol? It's not an antacid, is it? It's the bright pink stuff. I can't think what it actually is. I hope he isn't here, but I sent Casey. Did you? I saw that you'd said that in his chat. So what all have you sent him? Wagon wheels and pot noodles. No, see, right. Super noodles, although I can't eat either of them, super noodles are by far the superior noodle. I'm just going to put that out there. But they are by far superior to pot noodles. Oh, okay, a wee bit more wine in there. We've not got quite enough. Deep fried wagon wheel. Oh dear. No, I think that would ruin it. How terrific. I think it would. You shouldn't ruin a wagon wheel, especially the jammy ones. The jam wagon wheels are the best. I am sorry, Grievous Mink. I'll send you a list of all the different British food things that we're talking about, and you can go and have a look. It's all quite interesting cuisine. I've completely lost track of what I'm doing now. Oh, the smell of that wine, yum. My next few bits and pieces out. Don't know what anybody else, but I'm absolutely starving now. What's a pot noodle? Do you call them cup noodles? Is it a cup noodle in America? We call them pot noodles, but it's basically just like a paper cup with noodles and you pour the hot water in. I mean, they are fairly disgusting. Oh, nice. I'm brew Weet-Bix. Pot noodles, Branson pickle, nice. Vimto, nice. Wagon wheels, quavers. Are quavers a UK thing? Is reggae sauce also only UK? Nobby's nuts and Jaffa cakes, nice. That's a good selection. Oh, he's going to be so happy. I could not believe how much he was going on about Iron Brew in that last stream. I hadn't realised he was such a fan. If you could eat it coppers, there's one bite. If I could eat what part was that too horrific? If it's the pot noodles, I have tried pot noodles because I used to eat them. They're not good. They're good for like a quick snack, or if you're maybe like, if you've had a couple of drinks, but apart from that, I just watched someone drink Iron Brew yesterday. Girl who bakes, you don't want to get me started on this topic. It's a big deal here. So basically, I'll give you the short version. So basically, Iron Brew is like our national, well, it was our national drink. And then the sugar tax came into play. So basically, companies with drinks that had over a certain amount of sugar in had to pay an extra sugar tax because they were trying to get people to like be healthier and lose weight and stuff. So a lot of companies then, instead of paying the tax, they cut down the amount of sugar that was in something and added sweeteners instead because it's cheaper, and then they don't have to pay the sugar tax. So Iron Brew was known for being full of I mean, it's really bad for you, but it's a fizzy soft drink. But it was like the hangover cure because it was full of so much sugar. So they've changed it now, and I haven't tried it because I'm intolerant to sweeteners. I can't, like, they ruin my stomach. So I haven't been able to try the new one, but people say that it's disgusting, and we're basically just waiting for them to go bust because so many people have said it's not the same, I'm not drinking it anymore. So, and you cannot physically buy the old stuff. Like, for a while after, I mean, I think it was a couple of years ago now, for a while after, honestly, it was almost like a game that things would go on, like someone would say, oh, I've found a supermarket near me that has some Iron Brew, the old stuff, and everybody would flock to this one place to try and get some, and it became so expensive, and it was honestly like gold dust. It's mad. And basically, I think now, I think you would really, really struggle to get some. I've not seen it for probably about a year at least. Yeah, so I'm furious because it was one of my favourite drinks and now I can't physically drink it anymore. So yeah, and I do get quite upset about it. You've never heard of any of those? Right, Grievous Mink, you're going to have to go and Google all of those things. Oh, of course, Lay's, because you get Lay's in like Spain and stuff as well, I think, don't you? I'm just going to catch up. I'm sorry, I was having a rant. There's a pho version of pot noodle. That sounds like it might be quite nice then, Hojerific, actually. It might be better than the, chicken and mushroom or something that we have. Ah, I didn't realise that, Buff, that they had to change their name, because I think, do you not get like the cheap supermarket versions that are Iron Brew? I wonder why they don't have any issues, maybe because it's just like an own brand. Yeah, Girly Bakes, it's mad. Like, it's ridiculous. So we're all just waiting for them either to change the recipe back to the way it was, but then I think they've upset so many people that people are like, no, I'm not buying your stuff anymore. Or for them to go bust because they're losing a lot of money. They released in 1901. Yeah, and we were all furious about that. Because we're like, don't try and trick us. You're now just trying to steal our money. And apparently so they went from reducing the amount of sugar for the sugar tax, and then they brought out the 1901, which apparently had even more sugar in it than the original version. So people were like, what are you doing? This feels like when Coke created New Coke. I've not tried New Coke. Was that is that something that happened a while ago? I feel like I must have missed that. Sorry to change it. I appreciate it, thank you. I still have regular Coke and I've got a couple other bits, so thank you, Dynadol. Brew means tea. Ah, that makes a lot of sense. That's clever. Yeah, and I think Iron Brew, like the way they spell it now, is pretty. It's a lot better, I would say. Oh, Podurific, your friend's just appeared. He's ready for his dinner, and he's very early. Oh my god, yes, I have, and yes, oh my god. I mean, they will pull your teeth out, but it's worth it. They're so good. Or a Vimto bar. Or what's the other one? Is it a Whiz? Is it a Whiz bar? Girl Bakes, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I hope you have a good day at work. And thank you very much for being here. It was lovely to see you again. And I'll hopefully try and catch one of your streams again soon. Yeah, yes. That's not a pretty look when you're eating that. Murphy, you've never seen Murphy? He now thinks I'm talking about him because I keep saying his name. Right, hold on. I'll see if I can lure him over. Good boy. He doesn't like this camera. There he is. Oh, there he is. Just want his dinner. Used to get them from Brookers. I think we had Brookers as well, I feel. It sounds familiar. We used to get them, well, I think we used to just get them from like the old-fashioned sweetie shops. You should sleep. Probably should, yep. But we're enjoying having you here, so it's fine. Murphy. Yeah, that's him. He's now sitting behind me, trying to trip me up, waiting for his dinner. Yes, they're quite common here. We get quite a lot of the old-fashioned sweet shops, which is good. I think one of my favourites are the little rhubarb and custard. You know, not the hard-boiled sweets, but the little chewy ones. So good. Murphy's Only Priority Street, yeah. Feed me or I'll trip you up. So yeah, thanks for that. Much appreciated. Yeah, no, I'll go out soon in a half because I've not fed him. Sweet treats and treats too. Nice. Oh, cola cubes. Yes, I love a cola cube. I'm gonna be so dissatisfied with my dinner tonight. All I want now is sushi, mochi, ice cream, and sweeties. Maybe another day. Right, so I've just added some tomato puree and a tin of tomatoes to this. And I'm just going to let it simmer. I'm wondering if I want to add stock. I might add a little bit. Yeah. I know that's the problem. But sometimes it's worth it at the time, isn't it? Oh. Yeah. Just to go into a wee sweetie shop just now and be like, can I have 3 bags of sweets, please? And 5 iron brew bars. You ever use the stock pots? I actually normally use the stock pots, but I think the last time I went to the shop they didn't have any, so I just got the cubes because I'd run out completely. I prefer the stock pots. I think they're a bit stronger tasting, and more, I would say maybe more realistic tasting. Not quite as kind of artificial. But I actually like making my own stock. So I have a recipe for my machine here, and you basically just like put a load of veg in the oven, roast it all up, and then pop it in the machine with a few other bits and pieces, and then kind of whisk it up. And that's the nicest stock. It's not quite as salty as the ones you buy, I think, so sometimes you have to add a little bit of salt after, but it's so tasty. But yeah, from between stock cubes and stock pots, definitely stock pots. Ah, yeah, marinade. That's a good idea, actually. I think if I marinate stuff, it tends just to be in like soy sauce and ginger and things. But yeah, I tend to just use, if I'm ever using it, it does just tend to be the stock pots, if I can get them. I'm too lazy to make, yeah. Sometimes the stock's a whole process, and sometimes you don't have time for that. You can rub it into the meat, then like, ooh, okay, that's good to know. I would never have thought about that, but that actually makes a lot of sense. I actually found stock pots recently, and they were red wine stock pots, and I thought that's a really good idea because, I mean, it's not really an issue here, but I'll sometimes think that I'll make something, I'll have opened a bottle of wine for like a little bit out the top, and then I end up not drinking the rest of the wine. Not very often, but if I don't drink the rest of the wine, I always think it's a bit of a waste. So I thought that's quite a good idea, especially for people maybe that don't drink but like the taste of the wine in their sauces. Super dry OXO cubes, yeah, but they're not gluten free, unfortunately. So I get stuck with, it's funny, I get stuck with either the really cheap supermarket versions, which are normally gluten free, or the really expensive, like, what was that, the ones I had, is it Callo or something like that, the organic ones? Yeah, Callo. Yeah, so it's been a long time since I've had the OXO ones. Just trying to see if that's enough liquid. I think it possibly is. Get that leftover wine next week, meat skeleton to glaze it. Oh yeah. Yeah, yum. There's nothing better than deglazing a pan with some wine. Oh, I made a bit of a mess here. Right, I'm just going to add my last kind of bits and pieces to this and let it cook down while I look at all my other bits and pieces that I'm doing. So, I'm going to add a dash of balsamic vinegar. and about maybe about a teaspoon of sugar. Oh, that does sound good. I was gonna say, what are you making for dinner, Buff? But if you've just eaten a load of sushi, probably not much. Well, I suppose it's still fairly early. And then to that, I'll probably just add some of my herbs. Last time I did that was with, oh. See, yeah. I mean, that's it. I'm in no way a vegan or vegetarian at the moment. I do cut down what I eat meat-wise, but sometimes a good steak, yum. My big glaze, oh, and that sea gravy. Oh, love gravy. I could quite happily just sit and eat like a bowl of either roast potatoes or mashed potatoes and just coat it in gravy with a thick sauce and dip the steak. Oh my god, I'm so hungry. What are you doing to me? Oh yeah, and I'm really looking forward to my bolognese now, thanks. That's okay. It's fine. It's giving me ideas for what I want to have over the weekend. And that's also good, so I'll let you off. Right, I think I'm just going to leave that to do what it's doing. I'll give this stuff a wee bit of a tidy up, and then first tomahawk. The tomahawk's a huge one, isn't it? I don't think I've ever had a tomahawk steak. No, I don't think so. Oh, that's the wrong place for that. It was the same week I did the breaking a tough steak down with pineapple. Huh? How does that work? What? Huh? That sounds very interesting because I like pineapple a lot. But what does that process involve, and what does that do? Okay, a cheap tough steak. It sounds a bit gammon steak like. It's been a long time since I've had a gammon steak. Ah, okay. I have never heard of that before. And do you get any of like the pineapple flavour in the steak, or does it purely just kind of break it down? I think I can imagine that being really nice though. Oh, what that reminds me of is their enzymes in the I'm definitely gonna try that because I'd never heard of that before. But that sounds. So does the color of the steak change when you do that? Because I found a company who made like beef jerky, but it was with slow cooked steak that they then made into beef jerky, and it was pineapple and orange flavour, and it was one of the tastiest things I think I've ever eaten. It was so good, like as a little snack, so nice. But I don't think you can actually get it anymore. It was like a little start-up and they seem to have disappeared, which I'm quite sad about. Is it way paler? Okay. I suppose if the taste is there, you're not going to be too worried. Biltong. I keep seeing the whole biltong bit. I've never tried it. I'm not against trying it. I think just because normally beef tongue, I'm not actually a big fan of. Beef tongue? Oh dear. Beef jerky. I'm not normally a fan of, but this stuff, because it was like slow cooked, it wasn't nearly as like hard to try and eat. It almost kind of fell apart. I think the way they cut it and the way it's prepared, but it was so nice. It's a half South African. Nice. I can't promote it more, to be honest. Right, I will try biltong and I will let you know how I got on. Like Hodgerific says, 1 bite rule. Although I hope I like it, because otherwise it's a bit of a waste. You have a PO. I don't, but don't worry. I'm sure if there's a specific brand that you would recommend, let me know, because I'll probably be able to get it here as well. So if there's a specific brand that's good, let me know the brand and I can go and get some. Oh, so you make, I've just seen this, you make your own. I get it. That's pretty cool. Well, if I ever do get a PO, I'll let you know so you can send me some. Another spoon from somewhere. That's really cool. I don't even know where you would. Is that just? Do you just get tap there? Just get a load of beef and like dry it off, kind of, and flavour it, I suppose. Okay. Lowers. I'll need to look out for that, because that's my kind of thing, right? I'm not a sweet snack kind of person. I much prefer a savoury snack. So that kind of thing is right up my street, especially then because it's gluten-free as well. Like a lot of snacks are quite difficult to get gluten-free. So that sounds like that's something I would like. Right. Nice. That would be good, actually. And does it matter? Do you need like good meat to do beef jerky then? Or biltong, sorry. Or can you do it with kind of any meat? You have a biltong dryer? Nice. And does that mean, by DIY, do you mean that you made it yourself? Obviously beef or tofu. Okay. Okay. I feel like that'd be a wee butcher job. Right. I've just stuck on my lentils. So I've got about 300 grams of lentils in about, where's my salt one? In about a litre of water. Ooh, that's not too bad at all, because the packets can be quite expensive. So that does seem pretty good. And presumably you get a lot more out of that than you would in a packet. Why are you making noises? Well, that does seem very reasonable. I'm now getting to the stage where I'm like, right, if this could all hurry up a bit so I can eat. Getting quite hungry. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of biltong. And that's the thing, I find it's with stuff like that, more often than not, it's so much cheaper to do it yourself. It's just that actually going to the effort of doing it yourself. So do you flavour yours with anything? Like, is there a special kind of seasoning or something you put on it? Or you probably marinate it then, don't you? Right. That's better. Just takes time. Okay, but I suppose if you've got like a little dryer, you can just leave it out there to do what it's doing for a while. Right, so I've got all my things on now. And now that I'm absolutely starving, yeah, so I'm just going to do this fairly easily. I'm not going to do a huge amount with it. So I've got my sauce on, my lentils on, put them together, make some spaghetti, and then do a little side salad, and that's really going to be it. Nothing too adventurous, because sometimes, especially on a Friday, I feel sometimes you just want something kind of hearty. Big garlic, wow! Garlic, peri peri, sriracha. Normal, oh, coriander flavour, oh yum. That sounds good, I think that would be my favourite. Or the garlic or the peri peri. That all sounds good, to be fair. Takes about 3 days. That's not I thought it actually would take longer than that. That's not too bad at all. And are dehydrators quite expensive then? Is that like a big machine? Or can you get little ones? I say I'm gutted. I recently, like literally just like a week or two ago, ate my last packet of that steak jerky. And I'm wishing right now that I had it so that I could eat it, because I'm so hungry. I'm going to set a timer because I'm hopeless at keeping an eye on the time. I'll do 20 minutes. So the lentils normally will take about 20 minutes, but I'll keep an eye on them. Ooh, that's not too bad at all then. I keep thinking about getting an air fryer. I'm quite tempted because I feel like I do like to deep fry things. I feel like an air fryer would be a lot more healthy. And I hate, like my worst thing about deep frying is all the oil that you've got left over at the end. And it frustrates me because I think, well, that's just a waste, and what am I going to do with this now? So I feel like an air fryer might be a good shout. It's really South African. So is that very much a South African thing then? That's pretty cool. Oh, I'm so excited to see Casey's reaction when he gets all these British things. He might cry when he gets the iron brew. After seeing his reaction about it when we were talking about it the other night, it's like this guy's obsessed. Right, so the lentils, well, you can't see it, but it's not overly exciting at the moment. So they're nearly boiled, and then I'll bring it down just to a bit of a simmer. I'm not quite sure why there's a foam on it. Don't know. I'll maybe take that off because it's freaking me out a wee bit. Iron brew should be there. So when did you send it? Get a wee bowl. Because does it not take ages to get over there? Because I sent something to Australia. So I sent a packet of my own herb creation to Australia about, that must be almost a month ago now, and it still hasn't arrived, which is really frustrating, and I have no idea how much longer it's going to take, although it's probably stuck at customs because they're like, why is she sending little packets of dried herbs? Ah, okay. You know, a guy fire and brew. That makes a lot of sense. Because that's what I thought, that you can actually get it over there quite easily. And that they had the original recipe for a lot longer than we did because they weren't going quite as mad about it as we were. Oh, thank you, Dynadol. Cheers. I think it'll be wine soon. Now that it's open, it would seem a waste. Everything else is going to... Yeah, it seems to take such a long time. Yeah, see, that's what I thought, that... So they don't have the sugar tax. But I had a feeling that for a while, they were still producing the old stuff for, like, exporting. But I thought I'd heard that they'd stopped that now, so everywhere was getting the new rubbish. But maybe that's not right, I'm not sure. Like everything over there has sugar in it. Baked sugar, chicken. USA. Would you say you were aware of that, Grievous Mink, that everything over there has sugar in it? Not true. I think the one thing that always gets me with the sugar is salad dressing, because we were talking about salad dressing earlier. It always amazes me how much sugar is in salad dressing. But all I want now is ice cream. Maybe you're just ordering the wrong things, but I've only been twice. Been to America twice. The first time was Disney. I went to Florida. And the second time I went to Atlanta to visit a friend. And I don't really remember thinking that everything was really sweet. But then I do like, because we had like sweet iced tea, and I mean that was probably the sweetest thing, but that was so good. I'm a big fan of iced tea. Or sweet, is it just sweet tea? It might just be sweet tea. Road trip from east to west. Nice. Oh, that's not ideal. That's really not what you want from a holiday. Hopefully everything was okay afterwards. Yeah, that would put a dampener on it. Oh dear. Maybe you can do another one and just miss out that chunk of it. Aww, that's sad. That would have been a lot of fun. Maybe you can do it again. Once we're allowed to travel, that could be on your list. What am I looking for? Salad. Ooh. So I'm just gonna do... I'm literally just looking to see what I've got in the fridge to put into a salad. Because I've got a lot of random vegetables. So I'm just going to shove all of them in to use them up. So far we've got lettuce, cucumber, spring onion, 1 tomato. I feel like I had something else I had. Oh, that is rotten. That would have been such a fun trip though. Like a Twitch cooking trip. Oh, hopefully you can do it again, because that would be a lot of fun. These actually look like they're getting there already. But it's only been like 7 minutes. So they must be still hard, because that would be weird. They're not too far away. Okay, I'll definitely need to keep an eye on them. But yeah, that would be such a good trip. Just visiting and then letting them cook for you. And then you could just be like the guinea pig for all their streams. And just be like, yeah, no, I'm coming tonight. Whatever you're making on the stream, I'll eat. That's fine. Because what height's Casey? He must be some height. That would be hilarious. But I feel like Casey's tall as well. We'll need to get you a fun chef jacket as well. That's the wrong one. There we go. Just so you can see roughly what I'm doing. What? Move this up a wee bit. So I'm just going to do a very simple salad. I might do that lentil stuck in my throat. I might do a bit of a yogurt dressing just to mix things up a wee bit. I feel like that might be quite nice with the bolognese. Just getting a refill. What is German suplex? Is that like a fight move or something? Yeah, so as I said, I am not one for buying salad dressing. I don't find that I like the taste of any of the ones that you can buy. The only one I really like is like a balsamic dressing, but then you can make that so easily yourself that it seems a bit pointless buying it. So I'm going to make a wee yogurt one, I think, just with some yogurt, oil, vinegar, some herbs, maybe a little bit of mustard. Wrestling move. That would make for an interesting stream. I'd watch it. I was so impressed with his drawing though. Wonder if we'll see him later. He sometimes pops in. That makes sense. So you could German suplex on there. Yeah, he is. He's really, I was so surprised. I hadn't realised. I mean, it makes sense, but it hadn't occurred to me that it was him that was doing the drawings on the coat. Love that type of dressing. Hello, Bodwell. Happy Friday to you. How are you today? Yeah, I just love, like, I think it's such a shame here that you will quite often be served if you get like a side salad or something. It'll come with nothing on it. And I think it's such a shame because dressings are not difficult and they can make a salad taste so much nicer. I feel like a salad here is quite often seen as being almost like a what's the word? Not a treat, the opposite. Punishment. Gone. Yeah, it seems to be more of like a punishment than something just because it's healthy. But I think if you've got it with a nice dressing, then it can be really good. But it's just it can be quite rare to get a nice dressing. I hope you do a good. Oh, that was the onion that swapped that over. I hope you do a good salad dressing at your restaurant, Buff. Not ranch then, obviously. Good, thank you. Good, I'm glad to hear it. And do we have anything exciting planned for the weekend? Oh, I kind of forgot that it was Friday today until earlier. I thought, oh, that's handy. Yeah, not too much dressing. You don't want to overpower it, but I just think it, like, if you don't have dressing, it ends up not tasting of anything, and you kind of think, what's the point? This is like rabbit food. I still got the lentil stuck. I'm loving the use of the emote. I'm just chopping up some bits and pieces for my salad. The lentils, I think, are probably almost done. So I can actually speak without choking. Yeah, I did enjoy his drawing that he did for you as well, Buff. That was cool. And then the little sunglasses and the beard after. I want 2 spring onions. I'll maybe do a third one because I've got quite a lot of spring onions that need to be used up, so I might as well. And I feel like, although I'm quite looking forward to something kind of hearty, I feel like I've not had enough veg this week. I definitely do think I can I almost kind of notice it that I crave vegetables eventually. And I think that's obviously when I've not had enough of them. Oh, thank you, Johnny. Cheers. I'm not quite on the wine yet, but it's almost time, I feel. Yes, I hope everybody's got a nice Friday evening planned. I've got, where's the straw? A straw for water? Seems a bit excessive. But if you want me to have a straw, then I'll go get a straw. I'm not having a straw for the wine though, that's far too dangerous. The wine bottle. I have nice straws. I've actually got copper straws, which I enjoy. But I think they'll be far too short for the wine. The wine bottle would just fall inside it. That kind of week. I know the feeling, Johnny. I do. I fully understand. Right, how is that possible? It is. I dropped a bit of onion and it rolled away. I was like, I definitely dropped a bit, but I could not see it anywhere. Copper straws. Well, it's a metal straw, but it's copper coloured. I think I can put that off now. So I've got my little metal straws. So I actually, like, I'm a big fan of straws, especially with my braces at the moment. I find that straws are good for me. And these ones I think are nicer because see if you're drinking something cold, it'll go up through the straw and the straw will be cold. So it's like really cold when you're drinking it. Instead of if you've got like a paper straw and you drink it and the paper straw just kind of disintegrates. But I really like the metal ones, and these ones anyway, you don't get like a weird kind of metally taste from them. They're probably like coated with something or prepared in a certain way, or whatever the metal that's used is legit, I'm not sure. But I much prefer those to any other straws. I kind of fancy trying the bamboo ones, but I feel like that might be a bit strange. Yeah, it's quite I think like if I was out, I would normally have a straw, but I think I was told at the beginning with the braces that I'm best to use a straw, especially for like staining and stuff. But I just like a straw. I'm not sure why. I'm just a big fan. Yeah. Or you could, was it strawpedo? Now I think I've slightly overcooked the lentils because I should have been keeping more of an eye on them, but I think they'll be okay. Yep, I've definitely overcooked the lentils. Oh, that's disappointing. I'm going to put them in a cold bowl just to... Yeah, no, they're definitely overcooked. I mean, they would be ideal for lentil soup. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Yeah, they're a bit... they're just a wee bit more, or like less individual than I would like. It's more of a lentil paste, which wasn't really what I was going for. They still taste good, but I don't understand why. I mean, normally if I do it in my little machine, it takes 20 minutes and they're like only just cooked. I think the temperature must be different. Yeah, no, I think that'll be okay. I'd prefer if they were slightly harder, but too late now. It'll be fine. Okay, I'll get rid of some of these veg out the road and do my salad stuff. And then I can pop on my pot for my spaghetti. And as always, using gluten-free spaghetti. One thing I find with gluten-free spaghetti is it sticks together something rotten. So I'm gonna, like, you have to keep kind of stirring it to keep it separated. Because I think the first time I ever made gluten-free spaghetti, I didn't do that. And it all stuck together and I ended up when it was just chunks of spaghetti. It was horrible. Hydrate, right. I'm gonna pour myself a wee glass of wine now. Because I think this is quite a nice bottle of wine, so it would seem a shame. The wine's been out for a wee while, so I've been doing well not drinking it yet. No, what? I thought I was getting away with it. Because I'd said before, I thought, no, he must be over the mayonnaise, that's good. Well, that's it. When I set up a PO box, you can send me some of your biltong and some vegan mayo. Right. Cheers, Johnny. Thank you for the hydration. But I'm going to go between water and this, just FYI. That is nice. Oh, you just need that on a Friday, don't you? There's just something about a Friday that you go, oh, I really want a glass of wine. So I hope if it's not too early, that everybody goes and gets a glass of wine just now as well, and we can all have a drink together. Johnny. This is why I thought I'm going to start this later on. It'll be sips because otherwise I won't actually physically be able to finish making my dinner, and I'm too hungry for that just now. I just took a bigger sip for that one. I know, terrible, terrible influence. Oh, no worries, Buff. Is that you on the evening shift then? And have you found it's quite busy now that presumably you're all back open and as normal as can be at the moment? I'm sorry, I need to change this music. I don't know what that is. Ah, a quick security job. Well, at least that sounds like it's not going to take you too long. There we go. To help someone out now. Yeah, at least that doesn't sound like it's a full shift or like a long shift or anything on a Friday. Peter, happy Friday. How are you today? Nice to see you. Lifetime quick jobs aren't too good. That's true. Tends to be the quick jobs that take the longest. Happy Friday! Thank goodness. It's been a long week. I'm not quite sure why, but it feels like it's been a long week. Have you had a good week, Eaterin? Anything nice planned for the weekend? Oh, that music's much better. This is much more my kind of thing. And before you say anything, yes, I have the worst taste in music. A very long week. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Friday now, exactly. Friday now, let's all enjoy the weekend. And we'll put that chili but unsure about cornbread. Do the cornbread, Eaterin. Did I put the recipe up? I think I did. I can put it on my Discord if you want it. Yeah, Girl Who Bakes was on here earlier and she said that she'd made it. I missed her stream. I've missed a couple of them because I think the one that I caught it and it was like midnight here. And I was like, I'm really sorry, but I really have to go to bed because I'm tired. But that's cool. I've made both chili and corn week. It's a very specific week, but I like it. I'm excited to hear what Toz's next week is. Yes, do it. I'm a huge convert to cornbread. Big fan. And if you want it, I can pop the recipe on because I thought it was a nice easy one and had all ingredients that I had here. Like there weren't any weird ingredients in it, which I always find handy because sometimes you'll read a recipe and be like, who actually has any of this stuff in their house? And that's what I like to do. If I'm putting together a recipe, I try and do it with things that people actually own or are at least able to get. I'm going to go and wash that's good, the thing's not up. Wash my lettuce. Yeah, that's true actually. But do you have buttermilk on hand? Is that quite a normal thing? That's a very good point. And I probably have ingredients on hand that you wouldn't, or you've never heard of before. Now like that. This isn't a kitchen without these things. Just giving a wee tidy up because I am actually, so after this, during lockdown, me and some of the girls I went to school with, we started doing a bake-off, and every Friday night we would bake something, and we've not done it for we didn't do it last week, maybe the week before, but we're doing it again this week. I've not quite decided what I'm going to bake, maybe a Swiss roll. So once I've done this, I'll then be on a call, well, I'll eat this quickly, and then I'll then be on a call to make desserts. It should be a good night. Water. Thank you, Johnny. I like how you specify. Cheers. They keep cornmeal on hand in the south. Nice. Yeah, I had to buy it on Amazon because I couldn't find it in any supermarkets here. I might have been looking in the wrong place, but I ended up just going with Amazon because I knew I would at least get it and get the right stuff and get it on time. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier, and I tried to make buttermilk one time and used milk and lemon, but I think I used the wrong not the wrong lemon, that would make sense, the wrong milk, because it just kind of went a bit curdled but not in a good way and just tasted like lemon. So I'm going to try it again and see if I can get that to work, because that would be handy, because you do get a few different recipes with buttermilk. Bake Off, yes. So I'm thinking I might do a Swiss roll. That's what I'm thinking. At the moment, I might change my mind, but at the moment I'm thinking Swiss roll with cream and jam in the middle. I was just thinking there, I thought strawberries, but I don't have any strawberries, so that won't work. Right, just gonna prep the rest of my salad now. There's not a huge amount of point showing you this, but just so you feel part of it. I think I'm still debating whether to do a creamy dressing or to do just like an oil vinegar dressing. If anyone has any preferences, let me know. Oh, I've just realised that the sky has gone quite grey, and I have a washing out. So it might get a bit soaked. But what was I thinking really in Scotland, hanging a washing out in September? It's my own fault, so I can deal with that later. So Etern, have you made buttermilk before? And do you have a way that you would recommend to do it? Because Girl Who Bakes has one. She's put it on my Discord. I've not had a look at it yet, but I'm going to have a look at that. But yeah, I'm up for suggestions and recommendations. It's not raining yet, but it doesn't look good. I checked the weather before I put it out as well, and it said, no rain. It's all good. But yeah, definitely my own fault for thinking, I can trust the weather. Okay. So just add them. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think I might try that next time. And just adding them separate. I'm glad I asked. That does make a lot of sense. I'm gonna try that. I can't remember. I think it was a soda bread that I made. with buttermilk, or I was looking for buttermilk to make soda bread, because this soda bread is the nicest soda bread and the easiest loaf to make. So I thought, buttermilk, I don't have any, can't get any, it can't be that difficult to make. Didn't work. Going to Edinburgh today, 1 inch of water. Oh no. Yeah, it was raining this morning here. Can't remember when it stopped. It's probably about lunchtime as well. But it's been sunny since then. It's actually been quite nice. So that's why I thought, an excuse to get the washing out. Silly. I should know better. Do you want the acid to hit the baking soda powder? Ah, that's a very scientific way of looking at it. I like it. Do you want the acid to hit the baking soda powder to create the gas? And that's like the bubbles, I suppose. But if it hits the milk, it creates the particles. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna try that rather. I'll see what Girl Who Bakes, what her recipe was. Or maybe even try both and see which works. Right, I'm still contemplating. I think I want a yogurt dressing. Actually, what I'll do first is I'll check if I actually have yogurt. Because if I don't have it, then that answers my question for me. Oh no, I do. And that was actually on my list of things to do today, was to clean out my fridge. Did it happen? No, of course it didn't. Don't be silly. Mustard anywhere? Ooh. Try and not knock all of my lights down on the way. Happy Friday, everyone. That's a nice bottle of wine. Just what I needed. I'm not a big drinker, but I've been looking forward to that for a good few days. Right, so for the dressing, as I was saying, my normal dressing does tend to just be oil, vinegar, herbs, and that's it. And I normally use white wine vinegar, but I'm gonna go a bit fancy today and do a kind of a yogurt one. So I'm gonna use, how much salad have I got? Maybe about 3. That's a lot of dressing. 2 tablespoons. Yeah, 2 tablespoons of just plain yogurt. Again, I just use the Alpro one with no sugar, because I've made salad dressing and yogurt dip with the one with sugar and it's weird. It's definitely not the same. So if you're gonna go for that, I would recommend getting the no sugar one. What are you talking? I hope not. I've had like literally 3 sips. Oh, it's not gonna end well if that's the way it's going already. How long can you keep mustard open? Shake well. Why don't you shake mustard? I think it's okay. Water, thank you. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm sure it'll be fine. It smells okay. Oh, I think the rain's coming on. Right, and then to the yogurt, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of Dijon, maybe half a teaspoon. I'm not a big fan of mustard, so I don't put too much in. So you probably could put more in if you wanted, but I think that'll do me. And then I'm going to add some of my magic herbs. That sounds a bit dodgy. These are the ones that keep popping up in the chat if you see them. If you want to buy some, the link's there. And this is my favourite way to use them, is to have them in salad dressing, because you literally don't need anything else, apart from obviously your oil and vinegar. But you don't need any other herbs, you don't need salt, and I put it in everything. So probably about a teaspoon and a half. That looks about enough, I would say. And then to make it more of a dressing, we'll put a little bit of oil and a little bit of vinegar. Put these back in the fridge first. And I've just realised that while I was doing that, I probably should have put the spaghetti on to actually get it to cook. So we'll do that now. Yep, it's raining. That didn't take long. Not much. The lid for this. Sorry. And if anyone is doing anything nice for the weekend, please do let me know. Because I like to be nosy like that. And just imagine what it must be like to be able to go out and do things. Okay, I'm going to boil some water just to help the spaghetti along, because otherwise it can take quite a long time. Can you guys actually hear the music at the moment? I didn't change the settings since last time, but so I'm hoping that you still can hear it. Right, what do I need to do now? When the downtown lights start to come out at night, we go insane. And when I arrive, I start to lose my mind. I go insane. Music volume is good, my volume is louder and good too. Nice. I'm finally getting there. It's only taken me a month, but we're getting there. I've managed to make a few changes. Not being too technical, it's quite difficult, but I think we're there. I'm excited to see your chili, Ethan. Have you decided what you're putting in your chili? I think you did, didn't you? Oh, nice. That sounds good, though. I feel like Zoom has been a lifesaver over the past few months. I was going to say weeks, not been weeks, the past few months. I know that we've done a lot of Zoom meetups and just to kind of keep me sane. And it's been nice that there is that option. And I also think Twitch is good as well. Obviously, I'm quite late to the party, but it does just make you feel like you've got people you can talk to. Johnny, you're getting a bit slow with the wine. But yeah, I think that'll be a similar weekend for me as well, especially if that's the weather now turned. I had wondered if I should start doing some gaming, but I don't know if anybody wants to watch someone who clearly does not game and does not know what she's doing. I'm not sure that's going to be. It would either be very entertaining or not entertaining at all. I'm on the gin. Well, cheers, Johnny. Enjoy. What gin have you got? Hopefully a good one. It's Friday. It is Friday. Yeah. Is it a bit early for you, Turn? Right, that's coming to the boil. Those game off stream to see how you feel. Yeah, that's true. I feel like the fun of it though would be the disaster of me trying to play games. Because I feel like that would be a disaster. Oh, that's good. See, yeah, I mean, I don't drink a lot at all anymore. I think the hangovers that it gives me, it's not worth it. But on the occasion, I think sometimes I just fancy a wee glass of wine. But that's it. Each to their own. Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. It could be interesting. We'll see. But I don't think, like the laptop that I'm on just now, I don't think it can handle it. I think it would explode. I mean, even now, yeah, even now, just being on and having all the different bits connected to it, it's very, very warm. Gin equals Dorothy Parker. Is that a kind of gin? Should I know about Dorothy Parker? Purple Coven! I can't hear anything at the moment because I've got my kettle boiling in the background. Hello! How are you today, Purple Coffin? How was your stream? I popped in for a wee bit just to watch, but I was very much lurking. I don't think I even said hello, so I am sorry. Did you have a good one though? And welcome everyone. It was Spiritfarer you were playing, wasn't it? Table for 9, please. I might have to put some more food on then because I'm not sure I have enough for 10 people. Nice, a chill gaming one. That sounds good. One of my top 5. We've got a lot of gin as well. The level art. Good. Well, I'm glad I could be there for a bit and watch a bit of it. Love gin. Yeah, I'm a gin fan myself. I'm trying to think what my favourite one is. That's tricky. I quite like the flavoured gins because I like a sweet drink. Hooray! The bolognese is going. So I've made the sauce. The sauce is looking pretty good. It's just bubbling away. The lentils, I've chatted too much and I've overcooked them slightly, but they'll be fine. They'll be absolutely fine. The salad is ready in parts. If you can see that, it's very bright. And the spaghetti water is on. So it's coming along. And I'm getting hungrier by the minute. Lone Wolf. That sounds vaguely familiar. but I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever tried. Oh, actually, I think I've tried it at a restaurant or like a kind of bar in Glasgow. I think I remember thinking it was nice. Not that that's helpful at all. It's fried. Oh, purple coffins. What did you do with a deep fryer? Slightly concerned now. There's definitely a story behind the deep fryer. Brewdog. Oh, because I had it in, well, I think it was that I had in, not Brell, the other one in Glasgow, but I think I had it with elderflower tonic, and that's all you're really going to taste, but it was nice. Just cursed. Oh no. Yeah, no, I get that. That happened to me the one time I've deep fried tofu. That's literally the little alert thing that comes up now if you raid me. Or, yeah, it did come up then. It was a disaster. And luckily I wasn't cooking on gas, or there would have literally been a fire. So everything happens for a reason. It's all good, so we're all fine. No burns. So as long as you're not burnt, because that's not what you want. I've just realised you can't actually really see here anything. Love me some Brewdog, yeah. We own shares. Now that's dedication. Thank you very much for your follow, El Diablo Escobar. That's a good name. Yeah, we can be cursed together. That's it. And today my curse is that I've overcooked by probably quite a large amount. My lentils. Pint of punk. They do a gluten-free beer that's really nice as well. I can't remember what it's called, but it is nice. Wine. Okay. Cheers, Johnny. It's a good wine. Nearly burned down my apartment making Yorkshire pudding. Oh my god! Did you manage to save it, Ethan? That sounds really dangerous. I'm concerned. And how did the Yorkshire puddings turn out eventually? Were you still able to make? Not that that was your main thought at that point, but I do love a Yorkshire pudding. Oh, no problem at all. Thank you very much for the lurk, both Purple Coffins and Mathniks. It's lovely to see you both. And yeah, hopefully it'll turn out okay, and it will be something to be jealous of. And have a good dinner, Purple Coffins, and thank you again for the raid. And yeah, I hope you get caught up with your work, Mathniks. Cheers! Oh, you actually had to oh my god. Oh, that's not good. So does that mean that you've probably not tried Yorkshire puddings again? If that's been a bad experience? Possibly one you don't really want to do again? Oh. I'm not surprised. Funnily enough, I feel like that would put you off. But have you tried like tasting Yorkshire puddings? Because they are so good. It's been a long time since I've had one, but I should make them again because they work quite well gluten-free. And I've just realised that that is not enough spaghetti that I've got there, so I'm going to make some more. I might actually need some more water. I'm not sure. Where's my wee? I've got a wee spaghetti scoop doodah. There he is. Oh, nice! So you can get a proper British roast supper. Oh, I like it. So you've probably had it more recently than I have. That's not enough water. Hold on, I'm going to boil a kettle again. So organised. Oh no, I did. That's what happened. I get too excited about purple coffins coming to see me that I forgot that I'd boiled the water. So that's probably maybe 1.5 litres, 2 litres, something like that. How satisfying is that? Every time I see spaghetti, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. But I think of a roast dinner, I think my favourite part would have to be probably the roast potatoes and gravy. If anyone has a better way of shoving spaghetti into a pot, because I always think, surely there must be a better way of doing this. And I'll need to keep an eye on these because, as I said before, gluten-free spaghetti likes to clump together. So it definitely needs to be one that you kind of stir and break apart every so often. Or you'll end up just with big lumps of pasta. Right, and then how long does this take? 8 to 10 minutes. So again, I'm going to set a timer and hope that this one actually works this time and I don't overcook the spaghetti as well. Oh, I'm looking forward to this now. And break the noodles. See, yeah, that's definitely how I would prefer to do it. But I always feel like, yeah, you're going to get a row from someone if you break the noodles. And then I'm one of these terrible people that when I eat it, I like to cut it up into little bits. But that kind of goes with what I said before, that I like food that you can have in a bowl and you just need a fork and you just kind of shovel it in your face. So if you cut up the spaghetti first, you can just sit then and just shovel it. Mama's house. I've not seen her before. I'll need to go and have a nosy. But yeah, I feel like that's not allowed. If you're Italian, that's probably not allowed. And sometimes if I'm feeling fancy or if I'm at a restaurant, then I would do the whole spoon trick. And curl it up on the spoon. But at home, I like to just cut it up into bite-sized chunks. And then I can just sit with my fork. I think about 4 months ago. Oh, okay. Wonder if she's maybe got any wee highlights or anything. But yeah, you're probably not supposed to stir pasta, but the first time I made gluten-free spaghetti, it was a disaster because everything stuck together. It's so kind of clumpy. So I'm being very careful this time. Okay, I'll go and have a wee look then. Mama's house, she's great. That'd be cool. So is she Italian? I do love a bit of Italian food. Right, and then the problem is, oh there we go, that was quite easy. Right, I'm going to finish off, I'll turn you around because if I'm in this but you can't see me. So I'm going to add a tiny bit of oil and a tiny bit of vinegar to this dressing. Did anything come out there? Ah, okay. Nice. Oh, I wonder if that's what Buff Bagel was talking about, if that's the one he was going to. And did you go to that eater-in? That sounds like a lot of fun. It's a long way for me, but it sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I think that's good. Ah, okay, yeah, that's quite far. That is quite a journey. Maybe next time we could do like meetups and just stagger them around the world. I thought that tasted a bit strange, and then I remembered it's because I put mustard in it. I'm not the biggest mustard fan. Right, I think I'll just dress the salad now because the pasta's not going to take too much longer. And then I can add my lentils to the bolognese sauce. Yeah, a Doctor Who meetup. Oh, that sounds like fun. Oh, okay, that's cool. A Doctor Who meetup in a British pub. I like it. Oh, so does that mean that you've not been able to do that for ages then? Did you have any planned before the whole COVID bit? Hopefully you'll be able to do some again soon. Or expats, that's really cool. I like that idea. Right, so that'll do for the salad. I think that looks quite nice now. And as I was saying before, I feel like a salad can be really tasty if you just put a bit of effort into the dress. Yeah, that's nice. Right, so salad is done. Just gonna get a wee bowl for it and put out a wee bowl of salad. This is where I spill it absolutely everywhere. Oh, that's a shame. Cosplayers and others to take. Oh, that is sad because that sounded like that would have been a lot of fun. Hopefully there's other meetups you can go to though. So there's something nice about a meetup. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it. I think once everything's kind of back to a bit more of a normal, people will be like, I need anything to get me out of the house, to see other people, to see new faces. So yeah, hopefully it'll go that way. So a wee salad, just a wee side salad. And then, yeah, the spaghetti's looking good. It's not sticking, so that's good. Love a good salad. So do I. I do actually really enjoy a salad, but I think that's the problem. I think a lot of the time it doesn't taste very nice because nobody puts that much effort into the dressing. So if you get a nice dressing, then it can be really, really good. And I think I'm going to blitz up the tomato sauce, especially since I don't know, because the the lentils are a bit overcooked. I'm wondering, oh, I'm glad you didn't see that. I'm wondering if I leave the sauce a bit chunky so that it's got some kind of a texture to it. I think I'm going to leave it chunky. Good dressing is key, definitely. Because that's what I always get really frustrated about, especially if you get like a side salad somewhere. It just comes and it's just some lettuce with maybe a bit of cucumber, a bit of tomato. You think, who wants to eat that? Put something on it. Right, I'm going to add, because that's actually quite nice with the chunks, so I'm just going to add the lentils to it as it is. Oh, and the timer's going. Hold on. Try a bit of that. Yep, I would say that's done. So I'm just gonna drain this very quickly and try not to flood the kitchen. That's what I tend to do. There we go. So we've got our finished spaghetti, and as you can see, nothing stuck together, so that's good news. And then I'm just going to finish adding the rest of the lentils. So I've used red lentils for this one. I have also done it with green lentils, and that works nice as well. So just whatever you've got, and I would recommend undercooking them slightly, and then you can cook them off the rest of the way in the sauce. That's not what happened to me tonight because I've been talking too much and I forgot to pay attention to the lentils, but it's still just still a sauce anyway, so. Plus it's got a bit of texture with the tomatoes and stuff that's in the sauce and the onions. Yes, so that's well, I suppose they're kind of orange lentils. They look yellow, but it's those ones there. So I cooked them off earlier. I cooked them for 20 minutes, which is what I'd normally cook it at, but I normally cook it in my little machine, which was obviously far too long. But yeah, so I would say maybe 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes, and maybe 10 and try it. Does it need anything? Didn't know lentil. Yeah, it definitely is, because it was just recently that I realised it as well. But it's something that I make quite a lot now, and I really, really like it. It tastes, yeah, like it is quite similar, but I think it almost tastes nicer. I think the texture's nicer. It tastes a bit healthier. Plus, obviously, it's vegetarian, which is always a good thing. I'm glad I could do that for you. And that's one thing I like about this as well, because you could freeze that. You could make a big batch of it and freeze it, or make a big batch of it and eat it over however many days, because that'll keep for a good few days. And I really, really like the taste of it. Plus, it's just another one of these tomato sauce recipes that I don't think you can really go wrong with if you just keep tasting it. I'm gonna get a bowl out and start putting it together. And not get the bowl that's got a big chunk out this. There's a nicer one. I'll put that off. I'll turn you over here, and then I'll go and grab my basil. I thought I'd be fancy today and put some basil on the top. And then I've got Parmesan, but if it that's the problem with lentils, they get stuck in your throat. So I've got Parmesan, but if anyone's really upset, Buff, if he's still here, probably not, I won't use it. Although no, I've got a better idea. I've got something I can use. So I'm just going to do a portion of this and try and make it look nice. And then instead of Parmesan, because I've specifically got a vegetarian Parmesan now, because apparently not all Parmesan is vegetarian. I haven't fully understood why, but apparently that's a thing. So I now have vegetarian Parmesan, but I also have nutritional yeast, so I might just put some of that on, because it does a similar thing. Put this one on and you can see what I'm doing more. So I possibly next time would put less lentils in, because it's gone a bit light. But it does look quite similar to a bolognese, and I would say it tastes quite similar. Then a nice good portion. And then I'm gonna put, just to be fully vegan, just a bit of nutritional yeast instead of Parmesan. And I think it does kind of give that almost slightly cheesy flavour. I quite like nutritional yeast. Although I'm not vegan, I quite like the taste of it. Cat feeding time. If you could come and feed my two as well, that would be ideal. Because they're just sitting watching me. What a cool dish. Thank you very much, Ethan. I like it, and I think it is it's definitely a staple of mine. Because it is easy, it can be quick, and like you're doing, you can meal prep it well. Or if you've ever got guests ever again, if we're ever allowed to have guests again, it's quite a nice one to make because you can make it in bulk quite easily. Bit of green to make it look pretty. I love basil. See the smell of basil. It's so good. I know, I'm the same. I love cooking for people. It's just not the same just cooking for yourself. So it'll be nice to be able to have people round and to cook for people and like to host. I love hosting, but I don't remember the last time I did it. What have I done with my cloth? Where is it? Oh, there it is. What would you say your favourite like hosting dish is, Ethan? Do you have a signature dish that you cook for people if you've got people coming round? Can I make this look nice so I can get a photo? we go. So there we have a lentil bolognese with a side salad, which I think for a Friday evening, and I suppose you could put that in there as well, and a glass of wine. I think for a Friday evening, that's a pretty good dinner. All vegan. Yes, it is definitely all vegan. I just had to double check there. I was like, was there anything I put in that wasn't vegan? But no, because I use the nutritional yeast, it is all vegan. And it can be made a lot quicker, obviously, than I just made it. But it's one that I really, really enjoy, and I do make quite often. And even like today, if you overcook the lentils, it's not a catastrophe. It still tastes pretty good. So I'd be very interested to hear if you try it. I'll pop the recipe on my Discord. I think I'm pretty sure I've got a recipe on my blog for this one. So I'll link that to my Discord so you can have a wee nosy. And Etern, if you want to meal prep it, you can use that. But please do it right. Etern, when you're doing your meal prepping, if you're not streaming it, take some photos so that I can have a nosy and see what you're making. Looks so classic. And that's what you want from a spaghetti bolognese. It should be classic looking. Looks amazing. Oh, thank you very much, Alien. It does look good. I'm excited to eat it now. To eat that, finish off my wine and get ready for baking later on. But I think since we're all here, let's do a quick raid. I've not got my wee thing open. But it's been a lovely wee Friday evening with you all again. A nice chilled chatty one, which I enjoy. That's what I needed tonight, I feel. I don't have a clue who's on. It's Friday. Who would be on a Friday? Let's have a quick nosy and then we can all go over and give some love to someone. Oh, see, Party Squads is on, and I owe him a raid or two. He's not cooking, I don't think. Oh, see, this is when you see that my computer's about to explode. Right, let's share the love with our small streamer friends. Now, not purple coffins, see, that's it, I've got purple coffins on the brain. Party Squads has raided me a couple of times, so let's return the favour. He is gaming at the moment. I'm not quite sure what it is he's doing, but such a nice guy from the Netherlands. Because other than that, I think everybody else that's on I've already raided, so let's go over there, let's say hello, let's spread the love for a small streamer. If you're interested in making this, I'll put the recipe up on my Discord so you can have a wee nosy. I'm going to go and enjoy. Thank you all for being here tonight. I had a lovely time again. I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of my Friday evening. I hope you all enjoy your Friday and have a good weekend. I will be back on Sunday when I will be trying to make tacos from scratch. And we all know how well my pasta from scratch went, so it could be interesting. So if you fancy that, come and join. I'm going to try and make jackfruit with tacos and some salsa and a few other bits and pieces. I've not quite decided, so it should be good. I'm looking forward to it. So yes, have a lovely weekend everyone. Thank you for being here, and let's go and spread the love to another small streamer who supports me quite a bit as well. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you all again very soon. Have a good weekend. Bye.